You want me to rob someone with this?
Shh. Let's keep it between us, okay?
In the trailers for Spider-Man Brand New Day, we see an exhausted Peter Parker exhibiting many strange symptoms. It is highly likely that he is slowly dying. Yes, you heard that right. He might actually be dying. However, this tragic turn of events might be necessary to stay true to the title Spider-Man Brand New Day, as a very similar storyline once unfolded in the 12-issue Marvel Comics event titled Spider-Man The Other. In this video, I will break down Spider-Man The Other in the easiest way possible, while connecting the dots to some related details in the upcoming Brand New Day movie. The story opens in a suffocating atmosphere as Peter Parker constantly experiences vivid dreams and bizarre hallucinations. He sees old enemies like Kraven Hunter, his late Uncle Ben, and most hauntingly, the ominous appearance of Morlun, a member of the Inheritors who travels across the multiverse to hunt spider totems. Things take a turn for the worse after a battle with the villain Tracer. The bullets fired looped back around, and Peter was struck because his spider sense failed to react in time. Captain America subsequently introduced Peter to Dr. Castillo, a trustworthy physician who specializes in treating superheroes. At first, Peter was highly guarded and refused to give his real name. Dr. Castillo reassured him, stating that she was putting her medical license on the line to treat outlaw heroes. After running a blood test, she called Peter with an extremely grave tone. The results were terrible. His cells were severely degenerating due to the radiation from the spider bite years ago. He was dying, and time was running out. Noticing that Peter had recently been fighting in an incredibly reckless, careless manner and nearly losing his life multiple times, Mary Jane flew into a furious rage. She burst into tears, exposing her husband's deep psychological trauma. "I know the reason now. It's survivor's guilt. It's not just because you let that thief escape back then and he killed Uncle Ben, but because you think a good man like him had to die, while a selfish person like you got to live. Why is it that at the worst possible moments, you always run out of web fluid without ever bothering to build a warning indicator? Because deep down, you actually want to die, so you can be with him. You think you don't deserve happiness, don't deserve to live, don't deserve to have me. I don't know how to live with that anymore." At this moment, Peter choked back tears, handed her Dr. Castillo's letter, and said, "You're wrong. I don't want to die, but I know I am dying." To find a way to save him, Peter and MJ sought out the world's greatest minds. Reed Richards, Tony Stark, and Hank Pym all chipped in to analyze his condition. Reed confirmed severe cellular degeneration, but noted it wasn't typical cancer. Hank Pym deduced it was directly linked to the radioactive spider, but they were ultimately helpless. They turned to Bruce Banner, who was in his Hulk persona at the time, nearly causing everything to explode into a hilarious brawl, with Goliath Bill Foster even getting struck in the knee. Once things calmed down for analysis, Bruce Banner, the absolute expert on radiation, could only shake his head in defeat due to how rapidly the disease was spreading. Even their final resort, seeking the mystic arts of Doctor Strange, proved futile as the Sorcerer Supreme could do nothing to reverse this death sentence. In despair, Peter self-deprecatingly mocked that he always thought he would die quickly and foolishly, like a fatal paper cut, never imagining it would end this painfully. At Peter's weakest moment, Morlun struck. He relentlessly tortured Peter psychologically, threatening to kill Aunt May and destroy his family. Peter decided to lure him to Empire State University, the very place where he was bitten by the radioactive spider, to make it their final battleground. The ensuing battle was a horrific mismatch. Peter was so weakened that he couldn't keep up with Morlun's speed. He was tossed around like a toy against the walls, repeatedly crying out to himself, "I've gone toe-to-toe with the Hulk before, so how is he this strong? He hasn't even broken a sweat." Morlun walked up slowly, taunting him, "I will tell your family that you tried your best." Right after that came a truly horrific sequence. Morlun delivered a devastating blow, ripping one of Peter's eyes right out of its socket, casually swallowed it, and continued to beat Peter to the brink of death. When Morlun left, the police arrived at the scene, and no one could recognize Spider-Man's disfigured face. His medical chart was staggering: multiple fractured ribs, a punctured left lung filling with fluid, a severe concussion, massive intracranial hemorrhaging. He survived solely on pure, extraordinary willpower. Morlun later returned to the hospital room to drain the last vestige of Peter's life force. Sensing the danger, MJ courageously lunged forward to attack the multiversal monster. Seeing his wife threatened, Peter suddenly snapped awake in an instant with a terrifying appearance, one eye socket completely hollowed out, his remaining eye glowing a fierce crimson, and his teeth elongated into razor-sharp fangs. He flew into a feral rage, tearing Morlun apart, completely reversing the situation and absorbing the villain's entire life force. Morlun screamed in terror, "This is not how it was supposed to happen!" before being utterly destroyed. After killing Morlun, Peter collapsed beside MJ, whispering his final words. "I'm out of time, my body is completely broken. Be happy, MJ. Don't give up. Live for the both of us," before drawing his last breath. When the Avengers brought Peter's body to Lab 6 of Avengers Tower, the intruder alarms suddenly blared. As MJ and Iron Man rushed in, they were shocked to find that Peter's body was nothing but an empty shell, split open from the inside like a molted cocoon. The windows were shattered, but the glass fragments were scattered outside, proving that something from inside the room had broken out. In reality, Peter Parker wasn't dead. His true body was safely spun inside a massive cocoon beneath a bridge. Meanwhile, his soul descended into a mindscape resembling a wild, primordial forest. He saw the memory of Uncle Ben asking about the spider, and watched his past self grieving over the tragic deaths of Gwen Stacy and Harry Osborn. Then the booming, majestic voice of a gigantic spider, a cosmic force that weaves the web of time, echoed reprimanding Peter for his lifelong superficiality. "You have never understood what you are, what you were, and what you are becoming. You possess strength, senses, agility, but those are merely the simplest tools that a child would find amusing and stop there." The child never asked, and the man never returned to the question. What happens when a human truly bonds with a spider? You put on the spider suit like a mere cloth to hide your secret, so that when you take it off, you can pretend to be a normal human running away from your power. You died, but the spider did not. The spider refuses death. The spider dreams it is man, and the man dreams he is spider. Now accept us. Embrace the other. Do not resist. The pain you feel is the pain of rebirth. Peter opened his arms and embraced the gigantic spider, accepting his true nature. He was officially reborn, breaking out of the cocoon with a flawless, muscular body, completely stripped of any wounds. Returning to his life, Peter reunited in tears with MJ and Aunt May. However, he soon realized that the peak of Stark Tower was heavily webbed with organic silk. There, he confronted a humanoid creature composed of tens of thousands of tiny spiders, an evolutionary mirror reflection of himself. In the midst of the chaotic skirmish, 2 razor-sharp stingers suddenly extended from Peter's wrists, shocking him. Since when do spiders have stingers?
That was when he realized he possessed completely new superpowers and was gradually becoming the other. Spider-Man and his enemy had very long, cryptic conversations. After managing to drive the enemy away, Peter immediately sought out Dr. Strange.
Dr. Strange later explained that Peter was standing at the center of a cosmic web, netherworlds, and his resurrection had caused a massive uproar among the mystical forces. Shortly after, a building in the city collapsed. Peter immediately rushed to the rescue and discovered his newly enhanced abilities. Night vision. He could see with absolute clarity in the pitch-black ruins to locate survivors. Organic webbing. He could shoot webs directly from his body without relying on mechanical web shooters. Full body adhesion. He carried a trapped little girl on his back, and the skin of his back automatically adhered tightly to her. This left Peter's hands completely free to lift massive concrete blocks and swing them to safety right before the building completely imploded. Peter happily shared with MJ that he had always been too afraid to look deep into his powers, but from now on he would fully embrace them to save more people. The story closed on a dramatic note. Tony Stark, Iron Man, had actually wiretapped the couple's entire conversation. Realizing that Spider-Man had evolved to a whole new, potentially dangerous level, Tony quietly began designing the Iron Spider armor to keep him in check and prepare for the looming Civil War.
Through everything that unfolded in The Other, Spider-Man had to taste death, but it was a necessary sacrifice for him to truly become one with his inherent powers and evolve into a far more formidable version of Spider-Man. This exact path is highly likely to play out in Spider-Man: Brand New Day, especially since we've already spotted so many scenes and situations that mirror The Other. Do you think this will actually happen in Brand New Day? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button to support my channel.
After so many times saying it, thank you seems soft.